Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Coppin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Boy, look at that, Karen, just like that. Bam. Toy. Well, I was talking to Karen earlier this morning. Oh, man. Good morning. It's one of those like rushed mornings where you feel like I got here early. I got everything set up. I even gave you 10 extra steps or 10 less steps this morning getting in here, Toy. But then I was just like rushing because at the last moment, the video wasn't coming on and the sound I didn't think was working. It's one of those last moments, Toy. So good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Everything going good?
Everything's good. It's Monday. If any of your other people that do Hello Huntsville want to switch from their day to a Monday, you just let me know.
Yeah. Hey, we can make that happen. We can switch that up sometime. You know, y'all, I wanted to say first and foremost, thank you. Y'all have been with me over 2 years now. Did you know that?
No.
Can you believe that?
My time flies when you're having fun.
Y'all have been so good to us, and I always want to remind folks, it's not just the show. Our website continues to grow. Our group on Facebook is now 32,000 members almost, and
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great, but it's a lot of moderation. Like not moderation, but moderating.
Yeah, I was going to say monitoring.
And thank goodness I got like Tammy Farkas helping and another lady that I don't really know, but she's been in the group for a long time, so she helps me, and I trust them. But we get so much spam in that group of, you know what the number one spam on Facebook is? Duct cleaning. There's this weird thing, like everybody wants to have a duct cleaning business, but they're all scams. They're scams. And
So what's their end goal? Obviously not to clean
get your
ducts.
money. Yeah, they want you to private message them and then give them your financial information so they can lock in your appointment.
Ew.
And it's
Well, you shouldn't do that even.
no. And people don't realize that.
No. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make is giving out their personal information.
They're like, hey, just do. I'll never forget when I had my IT company, Toy. This lady, I did work for this wonderful elderly couple, just as sweet as can be. And I would educate them a little bit and tell them, make sure you do this and don't do that. And well, one day I get a call, and they were nice folks, very nice people. But one day I end up getting a call from their daughter, and she was livid. She's screaming at me. I can't believe that you did this to my mother or allowed her to do that. I said, wait a minute, allowed her to do what? Well, you're a computer guy, and she just got scammed for over $1,000. I said, well, that's not my problem. What happened? Well, it is, because you didn't teach her. And I said, what happened? And she said that she got a phone call. So it didn't even relate to the computer, by the way. She got a phone call, and it was somebody saying that she needed to go to Western Union and get them a money order and meet them at this location in the town I was living in, where I grew up in. And the lady did all that. She went to the Western Union, got the money order, met, and then the person said, well, you're not going to be able to meet me in person, so now you're going to have to go drop it off here. And she followed, because it was a scam. And it was something to do where they told her that her taxes were in jeopardy and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm not being rude, Toy, because I know people's brains, my brain sometimes doesn't, well, majority of the time doesn't work. But at the time, my grandmother was 90 years old. I remember this distinctively, and I was telling my grandmother about it. And my grandma, she goes, what type of a moron would do all that? I said, I don't know, Nanny. They walk among us.
You would be just completely shocked at how many people get taken advantage of like that. And no matter how much you try to educate them, unfortunately, with the older people, they tend to get frightened. I mean, these folks threaten them, and they follow exactly what they say, and then some of them think that they're going to get rich off of it.
No, it's not. I was listening. You know who I was listening to this morning? Channel 460 on Sirius XM. If I'm right there at do you have Sirius XM?
I don't.
Well, if you got it, only reason I have it is it came with my truck back in the day, and I liked it so much I kept it active. And I figured out if you tell them that you're going to cancel, you get it for $4.99 a month. And so every time it gets to that point to where it's supposed to go back up to $29 a month,
right,
I go ahead and let it lapse. Every time I do this once a year, I let it lapse. No, it's 6 months. They give me 6 months. I literally let it lapse. They will deactivate, and it's not like bad on my credit. It's just that I didn't make the payment, so they're like, okay, we're going to he didn't want it to service anymore. Well, then I will call them, and I'll be like, hey, I really want to get my service going again. And then you go through like 2 or 3 things, and they'll finally get. So every month, I've paid $4.99 for like the last 3 years for my Sirius XM. It's
I decided that with Apple Music or whatever, I don't use it enough, and I just have no need for it. I guess I don't know.
Well, mine it's if you're like on Zero, which is the preview channel, that's all their stuff. But then one, if you're right there at Zero, if you go back a notch, so if you go to the left. It's not like traditional radio back in the day, the little needle would stop and it wouldn't start back over, right? You'd have to go all the way back to the right. Well, on the electronics, and I think even digital radio, like FM radio does this now, but if you're like at 88.1, that's the beginning, right? And then 107.9 is the end of the FM spectrum or something. If you go to the left, it'll just go to like 107.9 and then it starts over. Well, same thing on Sirius XM, but the last channel is 460. It's the Billy Graham channel. I found it by accident. And, man, I've been jamming to some Billy Graham sermons in the morning. I don't know how you jam to them, but there's no music. But
gets you motivated.
But this morning, it's funny because here we are on a Monday with Walker County Federal Credit Union talking money. And that was one of his sermons this morning. And as I was driving in, I was listening to it about how we're supposed to be good stewards of our finances. And I think about that a lot, about, we got to make sure that we take care of our homes and our bills and all that kind of thing. And as I was driving in, I was like, how perfect is this? Because we're here on a Monday with Walker County Federal Credit Union. That's exactly what I was thinking this morning. So Billy was speaking to me to speak to you this morning.
Amen.
Amen. It worked out great. Well, hey, we do want to welcome you in as we get rolling here on a very marvelous Monday. Thank you for being with us, as always. Episode number 530, which is crazy to think about. 530 here on this non-mimosa Monday, as we always like to call it. One day Val may come back by, but is she still, Valerie, she been around lately? She used to have the tap truck.
Yeah, I haven't seen her lately, but I also hide in the back. So.
Yeah, she's such a wonderful lady. I have not seen her in a long time either. But wanted to welcome all of you, and do us a favor as we get started here on this Monday. Send us a message. Let us know that you're out there. There's always so many people that interact with us. Many messages are already coming in today, and we'll get to those here in just a few moments. And do us a favor, let us know this morning what you're looking forward to this week. So we'll change instead of what are you thankful for, what are you looking forward to
Friday
this week? Outside of Friday, Toy, what are you looking forward to this week?
Well, I have a lot of meetings this week, so I guess I'm looking for hopeful for a smooth week.
You just need an easy rolling week, right?
Yeah, just no issues with all the meetings. I think I have three or four this week, and then Thursday we're closed for Juneteenth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's right. They had the Juneteenth parade this weekend. I had no idea, and I usually try to go to that.
I don't think they did much advertising.
No, I didn't know
with
about it.
Or promoting, I shouldn't say advertising, promoting. So, but there was a lot of stuff going on, I think.
Yeah, they had the
This
Main Street
weekend.
Music Series, I think, had another one. And then I think that was that the last one? I know that they do a few. I can't remember if that was the last one or not. But yeah, I saw Brenda had posted a video, and I was like, man, I missed that this year. We went last year and the year before. We didn't know it happened the last 2 years when it did.
Yeah.
We just randomly came upon it. And my favorite thing about that is just how the community comes together. And I really enjoyed. There's always guys that ride horses, and they'll ride their horse over to the Exxon and go inside and get them a little something, and then they get back on their
riding
horse.
horses used to be something very common in parades, specifically for us. You don't see that anymore. So that piece of our little country parades are missing.
Well, I think one of the reasons too, some cities have banned some of that because of the cleanup that is required after.
Oh, yeah.
But Georgetown still does it, but they require all the horses to have these neat little scoops on the back of their hind legs so as they walk.
Interesting. I did not know that. Well, I mean, it makes sense, but
Yeah, because back in the day, somebody used to have to go around with an old shovel.
just get the fire truck to follow behind them and
Just
clean it up, just hose it off.
Have the high-powered sprayer going, yeah. Well, no, I was thinking about, these guys that they go into the Exxon. I wonder if you would get if you'd get an R, what is it? They have DUI. I wonder if you get an RUI, riding under the
Don't
influence.
park in the handicap.
RUI while you're on the horse. You got to be careful. Well, hey, too, I want to give a big shout out to Elliot Herzig, Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Set up that appointment online. Go see our good friend Elliot. A great show lined up today. We're going to talk just a little bit about some things obviously going on here in Huntsville, but maybe some tips today to kind of keep your house safe. It's things that people don't think about during the summer. There's a lot of people that are on vacation. Obviously, Toy and I aren't, or we wouldn't be here, but there's a lot of people on vacation. They're out with their families. They're taking a week or 2 weeks off in some cases. And so I just want to talk about a few ways to make sure that your house will be safe this summer. You hear stories about things happening to people's houses, and you don't think, well, that's never going to happen to me, and then it does. And so maybe today this will be a few tips that will keep you safe as well, and we'll continue to promote the good here happening in Huntsville. We'll take a brief break. Again, send us a comment. Let us know you're out there. Many of you are chiming in today. We'll get to many of you. We'll also have a look at the weather. We had more rain come through last night. Squirrel made some noise out on Elkins. We lost power again. And so let us...
It was quick recovery, I think, considering.
Are you out there?
I am.
Did you lose it too?
Yes.
Do you have the Generac?
No, my
Yeah.
neighbor does, and it's frustrating when you hear him running out the kitchen window and you don't have anything.
You're like, oh, good for him. You the first thought that comes to your mind is like, must be nice.
I know.
Yeah.
Walk to my kitchen window and see their lights on. I'm like, oh.
We'll talk about all that when we come back. Hey, by the way, wanted to let you know too that we are giving away here this week. A big thank you to Tiffany Hubble and Vance Howard over at Cafe Texan. I've got a few more Cafe Texan gift cards that we want to give to you. We'll have that keyword up and more. So stay with us. More to come as we continue on. It is your show here on a Marvelous Monday, brought to you by Walker County Federal Credit Union. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us, please.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope. The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We're not a daycare. We're a child care center focused on growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Education you can trust.
This is KHSP-LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
All right, friends, welcome back. You can see on your screen there, if you're joining us on the social media feeds, keyword is now up. It's summer. You know what? It hasn't really been a really hot summer.
Just a few days of it, but I'm sure there's more to come.
It's been nice. I've enjoyed the rain. I really have. Typically I'm like, man, let's bring out a little sunshine, but I just do not want to be in that heat this year. I don't know, like the older I get, I just don't like the hot.
I don't like going in and out in the rain.
No.
It messes my hair up.
73 this morning, 94% Huntsville humidity, 40% chance of rain and thunderstorms today. We'll only get up to 89. I say only because we're in June. We haven't hit too many 90s yet. Tonight, 74, muggy, a little slight chance of rain. We will. Hey, check this out. We're going to get up to 91 and sunny tomorrow, Toy.
Awesome. That's
91
my jam.
and sunny. And then rain back in the forecast on Juneteenth, just because you guys are closed, right?
Yeah, I have a meeting that day, though, so I kind of got juiced. And then on Friday, we have the Chamber Clay Classic, the inaugural Chamber Clay Classic.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit. I'm really excited. We've had Cassidy on a couple of times here talking about that. That's going to be so much fun.
You like her energy?
Yeah, she's so great. There's so many good things happening at the Chamber, and I really want people to get involved. And I know you're on the board, and you've seen some really great things over many years, but now there's just a lot of – it's really cool when you get new energy into a place sometimes, right?
Yeah, it is. Cassidy's been amazing, getting to know Jason, and of course Shannon's still there, and it's been, these last several months have been definitely growing experiences, but it's been a good one. So, but the Chamber Clay Classic is the kind of a replacement, if you will, for the golf tournament that the Shot in the Dark that they normally do. And so we're going to have teams out there competing. There's going to be awards and all kinds of fun stuff. They have a little entertainer that is going to be out there. I say a little, it's a man. And I don't know how big or small
is he a little man?
I don't know. Anyways, but
he's going to be texting in the show here in a minute.
We're super excited. I'm excited about it. The credit union is a little, we've got some involvement in there. I will be out there volunteering some, and so looking forward to it. It's kind of neat. It's first thing similar. That's the only thing. Hold on. Let me get my bearings about me. Yeah. There's nothing else like that here in the community at this time. So this is very unique for us, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the Chamber. Cassidy's worked really hard to try to, she came in at the end of the year last year or the beginning of this year. I can't remember. We had Diva Night that was like literally she barely got her feet on the ground, and we were having to
already rolling.
Yeah, so this is a really big event for her, so I'm excited to see how everything unfolds. They've worked hard to work with Abel and Wisniewski to try to get everything come together, and of course there's other sponsors out there that the credit union is an award sponsor. So anyways, I'm excited to see how it all unfolds.
Well, that's great. You've been serving with the Chamber, and that's a lot of work too when you're bringing in new people and trying to make sure that you get everything to mesh and to work. And it seems like it's worked out really well because you're not talking about just one position, not just the president, but you guys have had to not only get a new president, but then also find, new marketing, new outreach, those kind of things. And everyone over there has done just a phenomenal job across the board. And Cassidy's there, Jason's there, the other young man is there, Jonathan. I was going to say Justin, that's why I said the other. I knew you'd know. Jonathan is just an exceptionally nice young man, and of course Shannon. I don't want to leave her out of the mix, like you said. Shannon is kind of Shannon don't realize it, but she's kind of the glue that holds things together, whether she realizes it or not.
We have Missy that's there. She's part-time, but she helps out, and they all. It takes all of them to really function because they're such a small office, and I can kind of relate to that. We're twice their size essentially, but even with that, it's when you work in an office or an environment that's you have to wear many hats, it can get stressful. But I think they've got a good thing going. So I really do hope that that Jason has an opportunity to kind of sink his nails into the community and gets to know people, and we can start establishing new relationships, reestablish relationships, and create something positive for the community. It's a good outlet for businesses to network.
Yeah.
You really don't know.
I wouldn't have met you guys if it wasn't for the chamber.
I'm telling you, I've learned so much. I've lived in Huntsville my entire life.
Since the first breath.
Since the first breath.
In that old hospital.
In that old hospital where there's probably boogers in there now. Anyways,
Baby boogers. From
but
yesteryear.
I've learned so much through that professionally and on a personal level. So I just think that, there's opportunities there, and I encourage people to, even if you don't own a business, network with the businesses that are there, as an individual, and enjoy an opportunity to get to know some of the folks in our town.
I had a great time. I think it was on Thursday. I went over to the new K Hovnanian development that's out there, the homes. They're off 30. They had a really awesome ribbon cutting. Jackie's over there and kind of overseeing with K-Hov. It's easier to say K-Hov, by the way. They said if you can't say the name, and see, I'm probably getting it wrong right now, but K-Hovnanian. So she just said,
you're chopping it up.
Yeah, just say K-Hov. I walked into the chamber. It was a beautiful ribbon cutting, by the way. It was raining. It was pouring down rain. But we had a
probably why you didn't see me there.
They released butterflies at this ribbon cutting. It was the coolest thing. Yeah, they had butter. It was funny. Paula, if you're watching this morning, I'm going to put Paula out on, Paula Armstrong is the, I haven't given her a name yet. I love Paula, by the way. I love her energy and just her humor. Maybe I don't want to say like the jokester of Huntsville, because I don't know if that sounds good, but she just
don't call her a prankster.
Yeah, well, she's a prankster too, but I love her energy. And Paula was there, and they handed her these little butterflies. I guess you can order them. There's a website. The lady was like, "Oh yeah, you go here and here and order all. You can order them. They're alive." And Paula grabs it, and like I thought she smushed it. And the lady was like, no, don't do that. And she's like, "Oh, I thought it was a necklace."
Oh my gosh.
But it was neat. And what I love about this, and sitting here talking to you is cool, because you were born and raised here and you've seen some growth. But I think growth, if it's done the right way, is a good thing. It's a positive thing. It benefits everyone. It helps keep the tax base pretty low compared to where, if you don't have a community that's growing, the cost of everything goes up. If you don't have new development and new homes that people are purchasing to pay into the taxes, then none of that really gets equaled out. It just keeps going up. And I know there's been a lot of chatter about taxes around here, but I'm going to tell everyone here, it's nothing like what we were paying in Central Texas. It's the tax rate here is very nice compared to a lot of other areas, and I want to encourage folks, don't take advantage of that. Things do have to go up, unfortunately, but I think they're going up in the right way here in Huntsville. But with that housing development's right off 30, I was kind of concerned because I saw these apartments coming in too, and I was like, oh man, the apartments look nice. They're looking really nice over there, and then that neighborhood is right next to it. They've planted trees. I know a lot of people are saying, well, you can see the kind of that open area, and then back there is one of the prison units. But it's going to be so nice. And the home, Mayor Humphrey was there with us, and I was telling Russell, I said, Mayor, one of the things that I noticed when I walked, this didn't feel like and I don't mean it in a rude way to any other builder, but it didn't feel like a cookie cutter neighborhood or a cookie cutter house. It was beautiful. It felt like a custom home when you walked in there. And I was telling that to Jackie, who's overseeing, this area and that development, and she goes, "That's exactly what we want to hear. That is why we're trying to build these homes the way that we do." And
Are they custom homes?
No. They're a home builder, national home builder. I think they bought out Brighton Homes, which was real big in this area, in the Houston area. So they bought out Brighton Homes. But they're literally, K-Hov's literally all over the world. Never heard of them until they came here.
Never heard of them, too. I'm sitting right here beside
you.
I mean, I did see the advertising on social media with the chamber whenever they were talking about the ribbon cutting. So. And,
man, they had a full spread. They had a catered meal in there, and they had these little, I don't know, some sort of fried macaroni balls. I was like, those things were unbelievably good. They had, what do you call those? What are those little, like the pops, but they're cake pops? Is that what they're called?
Pops.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what they were called. They had cake pops
the Pops.
The pop. I mean, it was awesome. So all of these things, I mention all this because I think it is a good thing for our community, and I want to encourage folks, if you see things, you're like, well, man, I don't know about, just get to know the people that are working on some of these projects, and I think you'll change your attitude pretty quick. Because for me, I at first I was like, oh man, what's happening to all this and that? And then I got to know the people, and I was like, this is really. And then I went over and experienced it, and I said, there's no complaints. This is awesome to have this.
I think a lot of the negative innuendo that comes with specifically for us, the expense part of it is that the last several years, everybody's just been hammered. And, when you go to the grocery store and you spend $100 and you're walking out with barely 2 bags of groceries and not enough food to make 2 meals, it's disheartening. And then I think people have just been inundated with expenses, and the income side of it hasn't presented itself nearly as quickly as the expense side has. And on top of that, when you spend specifically taxes, when you're spending tax dollars and things like that, you're not getting an instant gratification from it. It's going to take time. And so because it's not, you're not getting that reward for the money that you're spending for several years potentially, it is, it is a burden. And so, but unfortunately with growth, we have to,
embrace it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
preserve the culture, but embrace the goal. That's kind of my motto now.
It's, I've seen Huntsville change. It's crazy. Stacey Lawler on Good, Bad, and the Ugly posts stuff. And then there's a couple of Facebook groups that he'll post old photos of Huntsville. And whenever I see them, I'm like, golly, I forgot that was like that, anyways. And so it's kind of nice to kind of step back and kind of be nostalgic, or it feels nostalgic to see, but it's just insane. I still get mesmerized by the Target. I was like, I would have never even imagined all of that over there. Now I hate going on that side of town. When I get over here, going over there, I don't like going because of all the traffic or the whatever. And I'm complaining about the traffic,
which is still 10 minutes to get anywhere in Huntsville.
It's like, get out of my way. No, and then I see Houston news channels advertising all these wrecks and bumper to bumper traffic, people stuck there for 45 minutes. And I'm thinking, I had to spend an extra 2 whole minutes. Coming out of Elkins Lake this morning, somebody got in front of me. I swear they were going 15 miles an hour. And I was like, if I didn't have somewhere to be, I wouldn't have a single soul in front of me. I got somewhere to go and they're going to go 15. Yep. That is just the way it is. So anyways, but my whole point in that comment was that, unfortunately, I think that a lot of the negative innuendo, specifically for us here recently, is that that people have just been inundated with the expense side, the cost of living, and there's really not that front and present reward that you get. There's a lot of criticism with the school bond, but the improvements that were made there were. If people were properly educated, they would understand that the improvements freed up income to be able to compensate staff. So we have a good, pool of people teaching our children and whatnot. But again, that also takes time. It takes time to build that up. And, I'm a firm believer in slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. You don't have to jump in head first. You don't have to, put yourself in a vulnerable position. But I really, this is an amazing community. And, of course, I'm only one person, and I don't really voice my opinion a lot on these things, but I really do wish that we had a little bit more positivity and open-mindedness and things like that, because there are people who genuinely are making decisions for our community that truly care about it.
100%. Well, that's what this show, that's why we started this, Toy, and why you guys hopped on board is we wanted to promote and highlight all the good that's happening here in Huntsville. And there's so much of it. And we're 530 episodes into this, and we're still talking about it. I still kind of chuckle when somebody said, well, you're going to run out of stuff to talk about in the first week.
Did you tell them, do you know Rob Hitt?
Yeah, I was like, ain't nobody got time. We got all the time in the world, brother. We're going to keep on going. And that's the thing is there's literally so much that you can talk about that we could have a 5-hour show every day. Won't do that, but we could, and we'd still have things to talk about what's happening here in Huntsville in this community. There's a lot of folks here that are homeless too, and I see people in the community, and I see people embracing those that don't have a place to call home, and they want to help. And there's a guy that I've met numerous times now, and at first he told me he was just passing through the area, but he said he really likes it here, and nobody's giving him any trouble, and he's not asking for handouts. In fact, when I met him, he didn't ask for anything. But he's a gentleman that's he's got a lab with him, a little yellow lab or white lab. I guess a white one's really a yellow, right? Is that what I don't know how they work in the dog world. But he's got like a yellow lab with him. And one day he was I was eating at McDonald's, which I do way too frequently. Those ladies and those guys over there are so nice, especially the ladies over there, that at both locations you just want to keep going back because they're always friendly. One lady has her nails. Every time I go through, she's got new nails. And let me see your nails today. So she always shows me your nails. All that. That's when you know you've been going to McDonald's too much.
When you engage them also, they can be friendly too.
Yes, and David over there, I know David, he's got a boy now, and so I got to talk to him about when he was about to be a daddy for the first time, and now the baby's here, and he's been a dad for several months. So you build all you got to do is just say hi to people.
Yeah.
And it opens up the gate. But this guy I was talking about was eating McDonald's. He was at the $3.99 Smileys. You know what I'm talking about? The $3.99 Smileys. $3.99. The gas price never changes there at the interstate.
Oh.
I call it the $3.99 Smileys. It's been $3.99 since I came to Huntsville like 4 years ago.
Smileys does not need your advertising. They've got plenty of it.
And the new one over there on, what is it, 75, that's the cheapest gas in town. I love going by there. It's like $2.42 a gallon.
Really?
Yeah, it's been really cheap. But this guy was sitting over there on the side of that Smiley's, and I was sitting there eating, and I don't say this to put myself on display because I think all of us, we're called at certain times to do things. But my mom had given me some money for my birthday. It wasn't much, but it was a little money in my wallet for my birthday, and I forgot about it. And I just remember seeing this guy over there, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna talk to that dude. Not in a negative way. I was just enjoying my food. But I kept feeling this prompt. You need to go talk to him. You need to go talk to him. And as a believer, I feel like there was the Holy Spirit telling me, go talk to this guy. And I tried to deny it, Toy. I literally turned on my truck and I was backing out of the parking lot. And I didn't hear anything, but I felt distinctively, stop, go park, and go talk to that guy. And those things happen sometimes. And when it does, you better listen. And so I stopped and I walked back. I said, man, I just wanted to come by and say hi to you and just ask how you were. And we ended up having a really nice conversation. And he goes, everybody in this town's so friendly to me, and everybody's been so good to me, and thank you, young man, for stopping. And he goes, I'm fine. I'm okay. I don't need anything. Everything's fine. His dog was real friendly. And then I remembered I had that, a little bit of money in my wallet, and I just took it out. I prayed with him. I said, here, I want you to have this. Because he wasn't drinking. I won't give money to people that I know are going to go take that and buy alcohol. And I say that, and I talk about, my dad had struggles with alcohol, and that's why I'm very serious about this. And there's a guy in town that I know that he would go buy alcohol, and I told him one time, I said, I'm going to give you $5, man, because you told me you wanted to go eat. And I said, but if I ever find out you use that $5 to go buy booze, I said, I will never give you another dime. And I said, I'm serious about this. And I sat down and I told him why. And that dude was like teared up by the time I was done talking to him.
Golly.
And he's like, I will never buy if you do. Now, if it's anyone else, I can't promise. But if it's you. And he didn't. I wasn't like stalking the dude, but he went in and got him a hamburger. And so he used the money to buy food. I told him, I said, do not buy alcohol with this. I will never give you another dime.
There are
but that's what I love about Huntsville.
500 children at HISD that are homeless, considered homeless. And that is just, I don't understand it. It's just heartbreaking to know that these children are homeless. I don't know. Anyways, I communicate with Juanita Hall, which is one of the social services.
Because Sally retired, right?
Sally retired this year.
We raised a little bit of money. In fact, I've got some money I got to give them this week or next week after our VBS here from Raise a Hope. We raised a little bit of money to give to them this year.
If the credit union can give back to the community that takes care of us, then I'd be glad to do that. And if the school district, the students of our school district, students of our community, it doesn't really matter. The little ones that don't have control over their situation. And if we can help out and give back, be glad. I'm thankful to be able to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, the credit union, that's what that's what we are about, is giving back. And I try hard to find places that really do benefit from the donations and efforts that we can present to them. I mean, CASA is something that I'm passionate about, and I can give in that area and volunteer in that area as far as helping them, generate resources, if you will.
Yeah.
I could not be in the middle of the services themselves.
Yeah, boy,
I just don't have that. I'm too empathetic. I'm too sympathetic. I am very emotional, and so I'm like, can't do that.
I had Toy crying at the commercial break. So.
But when it comes to the kiddos, it really is a soft spot for me. And you would think that I'd have a house full of kids, but I don't. And in fact, 2 of my 3 have moved out, and I don't want them to come back home.
Like, I love y'all, but y'all stay gone.
Right. Anyways, I love a visit, and I became a grandmother, a couple months ago, and I'm enjoying that part of it, but I don't want them to live back home. No, just kidding. But in all seriousness, we do have some homelessness here, and I mean, even though it's not necessarily our responsibility, is our responsibility. And as humans.
I wanted to expand. I'm so glad you brought this up, Toy. That's what I love about this show, is because we have a couple of things that we talk about, but I always want the conversation to go where it goes, and that's why I love doing this. And I'm so thankful that you brought up this very serious problem that we have here. And when people hear the word homeless, they think on the street. They think of sleeping under a bridge. That's not the case all the time. And when you hear of homeless students, that we have the same issue in Georgetown. Believe it or not, Georgetown's a growing, thriving community, and with the proximity to Austin, very good with jobs and housing and all these things. There were several hundred students at GISD that were homeless, and people's jaws dropped when they heard that. They said, "Here, how?" So when folks in Huntsville hear that, don't think it's a community problem just here in Huntsville. It happens everywhere. You could go to the Woodlands and find children there that are considered homeless by definition. And the definition of it is with these young is that they don't have a place to call their home. They're couch surfing. Some of them are, unfortunately, sleeping in a garage or on a street, which you don't see, or in a car. A lot of them do, and you're exactly right. But that's why it's so important that we're mindful of these things and connect with people, like you said, with Juanita. It used to be Sally. I know she's retired, and Juanita's there now, and I think Juanita's getting ready to retire too, from what I heard.
She probably is, but they both have been pivotal.
Sure
and,
have.
I'm just, like I said, I think that, if there's something that we can do as a community, that brings a little bit of comfort knowing. But, just think if these children don't have a true home, some of them may have, where's their next meal coming from?
Yeah.
Where's their baths? Where are they storing their clothes? Do they even have clothes? Those types of things, yeah, it's just, it's heartbreaking to see some of that stuff, but we have a great community. I really do feel like that, there may be some oppositions, lines drawn in the sand, but I think at the end of the day, when there's a cause, I do see a lot of camaraderie.
There, when you mention, students too, and these children not having just necessities, I remember in Georgetown, really awesome lady, Mason Crosby's mom. Mason graduated from Georgetown, ended up being an outstanding collegiate kicker at Colorado, and then went on to the Green Bay Packers, won a Super Bowl. So we were proud of him in Georgetown. It was like, and he graduated a year.
Did I paint the town green?
Yeah, man, it was green everywhere. We got rid of the eagle blue there, and it went green. But Mason graduated a year before I did in 2001. He's a very nice young man. Can't bowl worth a flip, though. I remember one time we were bowling we had a little bowling alley there, and he bowled like an 80, and I was like, this guy can't bowl, but he's winning the Super Bowl. But his mother had started this organization called The Locker, and I think we have things similar here, like Pop Committee does some really wonderful things too, promoting our positives. But The Locker was really neat because, and she still does it, and it's expanded to schools all across the state and even throughout the nation now, to where they are supplying schools with basic necessities, hygiene items. Some of these kids, friends, don't even have deodorant. They don't, like you said, they may not have underwear. And these are things that a lot of us, I know I do, take for granted because every morning we get up, we take a shower, we do this, we do that, we're on our way.
True story.
Some of these young people don't have that same. And to think about that, it's a terrible thought, but it's reality, and it's happening right here in our community. And so anytime you can get involved and help out, do so. The locker, the way that she's built this up is to where these kids don't want to feel embarrassed either. And so there's a very discreet way that they know how to get these items from the quote-unquote locker. Every school has a locker, and they're in that area now, and so these kids can go in, get what they need, and nobody will ever know that they went in and got it. And that's the key, too.
Yep. This past Christmas, I always call Juanita and ask her, do you have a family that, needs anything or whatever? And this particular family that she, I guess, was working with this last year said that every one of the children, there's like 5 of the kids, I think 5 or 6 of the kids needed shoes. So I went down to Lee Barron and got them to help me pick out the sizes that I needed, and I was like, I'm an old lady, so I don't know what the going thing is right now.
Old lady.
What?
You think you are now because you're grandmother.
I know, right? Anyways, and I just had a birthday too a couple weeks ago. So, anyways, but we bought shoes for all the children, and we were able to do that. And she said they would be thankful for anything that they were given. And you just like, I know my children get more than a pair of shoes, and it's just, but she said these kids would be tickled to death just to have that. So it's nice. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to be able to contribute when it's possible. So.
Well, be a part of it. Like Walker County Federal Credit Union, they don't do it to get the recognition. They do it because that's what we're called to do. It's what we're supposed to do, and that's what I love about what y'all do and what y'all represent. Anytime you see community events going on, you'll see the WC star on everything around town, which is great. And
superstars.
The superstars over at Walker County Federal Credit. They're also superstars when it comes to your bank accounts, and so they're going to take care of you. You are not a number. You are a name. You are a friend, and you can get some financial fitness on Friday on their social media now, and you can get credit union cookies too. So
we got new T-shirts too. We need to get you one.
Y'all have some new shirts?
I do.
Yeah, please bring them. So, well, we're going to take one final break. When we come back, it's ways to protect your home this summer, and we'll call our winner. The keyword is open. Make sure you text in right now your name along with the keyword summer to 936-339-0139. Your chance to win some Cafe Texan today. Again, that number is 936-339-0139. We'll take a brief break. We'll wrap it up. When we come back, stay with us. It's your show, brought to you by Walker County Federal Credit Union. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us, please.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
This harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope. This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville. Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit
94.3. All right, welcome back. We got a special little guest here joining us. It's always my favorite when the little ones show up. Yes. So she's been on the show before several times. My little girl hadn't been feeling good. I think we got too much sun out at the beach. Toy is what happened. So, but she's doing better, and she gets to hang out with Dad every once in a while. So it's. I was thinking last night as I was laying down with them, and I said, man, one day everybody keeps telling me it's like this, and then I noticed my son how big he's getting and how big she's getting now, Braylon, and I said, man, this is going way too fast.
It happens.
Way too fast.
Like, I can't believe that I'm 47 years old. Like, I'm like, I don't even, how? I skipped something somewhere, closed my eyes. I don't know. It's crazy. And then having, grandbaby. And we found out a couple weeks ago, my daughter's and her husband are expecting now.
No way. So you're going to be
twice in 9 months.
Hey,
I'm like, hold on. Pump the brake.
Wait, what's the grandma name?
Ugh.
Is it public? Can you say it?
Yeah, they're calling me Nani.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Well, at least that's what I think they're going to try to. My son and daughter-in-law are encouraging that. So she got me a Yeti cup with or Yeti koozie or whatever with that on there. She says it's official. That's what you're going to have to go with. So I struggled with that because it's just weird. I'm not used to that. I'm used to mama and, whatever. That is a whole nother.
They should call you Granny.
Oh no, my two older children's that's what they call their grandmother is Granny,
you're
and
like,
I'm
no
like,
way.
Well, like I feel like grannies back in the day were real grannies.
Yeah,
they were the matriarchs of the family.
Yeah.
They cooked, they cleaned, they took care of the families. I don't do all of that stuff. not like she does anyways. And so I was like, in our family, we only got room for one granny, and I can't compare to that one. So I'll have to be something else. And my mom is not Nana. And so, and then Brandon's mother has a creative name, so grandmother name. But definitely not a granny.
Yeah, I wouldn't see that. You would never be called granny. So
no, I'm not a granny.
You're making up stuff too, about this. Huntsville's notorious for people lying about their age and all this. We know that you're not 47, really 41, Toy.
21.
21.
Like for 3 times
and then
now.
joking around, oh, I'm a grandmother. Another joke. So see, this is what happens here in Huntsville.
It's crazy. Yeah. I have a 25-year-old son who's married. I have a 23-year-old daughter that's married, and then I have a 9-year-old that's going
awesome.
into 4th grade.
When here I am at 41 with a 3, almost 4, and a about to be 2-year-old. And I'm going to be that guy.
Are you tired?
Oh man, I'm so tired.
But
it's worth it.
I would not trade my life for anything.
It's a million times worth. When I see this little one, I'm like, it's definitely worth it. So especially when they say, Daddy, I'm going to wear my princess dress today. Go for it. If you want to wear the princess dress, go for it. So that's what she's doing today. So, well, hey, real quick, we're going to wrap up here in just a few moments. Is your house easy to rob? Is it easy to me?
Easy to you.
Is it easy to me? Here's a couple of things we want you to be aware of today. This is from familyminded.com. Did you know most burglars don't break in on a whim? You always hear these stories, or if you watch like a Dateline, bad things happen. No, they're planning this. There's a few small clues that can tell a burglar everything they need to know. So think about this summer when you're out, how alert you are, and how easy it might be for somebody to get in. The trick is spotting those clues before they act. These are professionals. These guys know what they're doing, and some gals know what they're doing. There's subtle signs that your home might be under unwanted surveillance. Flyers that never get picked up. Newspapers. People leave newspapers in the yard. That could be a thing saying, hey, there's nobody here. Repeated drive-bys at odd hours. So be alert about this. I highly recommend getting a Ring camera. Those things now record, by the way, cloud recording 24/7. It's no longer motion. They have added a new feature to where it records for, I believe it's up to 2 weeks. Automatically will save everything for 2 weeks now, which is really, really good because sometimes the motion misses.
Yeah.
So there's people that if you notice someone knocking and then vanishing, lights that stop working randomly, pets start acting weird. I get nervous at like 2 a.m. when my dogs start barking. Do y'all have dogs?
We have 2 boxers.
Do they ever go nuts like unexpectedly?
Not in the middle of the night, but.
So if they did, you'd think something's going on, right?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of a scary thing. Strangers taking photos of your home. I have seen people before walking around taking pictures, and you wonder like what's going on. Curious salespeople asking odd questions. Trash that's been disturbed. Wrong address visitors. Oh, I got the wrong address. A shifted doormat or moved planter. A lot of times, of course, people will hide a key under a doormat or under a plant. Don't do that. That's just, Mom, don't do that anymore, by the way. She used to do that. Someone who offers to fix something you didn't ask about. Fake accidents outside your home. Drones, that's a new one, buzzing around. I have seen 2 or 3 drones in our neighborhood just flying around, and I'm like, what are these things doing?
Hopefully they're just people learning how to fly drones.
I hope it's a kid. Yeah, exactly. Stranger that knows your child's name, that's a scary one. That thankfully has not happened to us, but I know of someone that it did, and it's like, how does that person know that?
I watched too much Dateline. My kid didn't get out of my sight.
Yeah, no joke. And then repeated social media check-ins while you're away. So it's really something. Just be mindful. Jason Thompson is with us on Tuesdays from Guardian Defense, and ever since I met him, I've always been taught to keep my head on a swivel. Just be aware of your surroundings. And I don't say this in a scary way, but expect the unexpected. Be alert and be mindful of the unexpected. And what do I mean by that? When you're filling up gas at the gas station, don't just look at your pump. Look around and see who's around you. I'm not telling people these things to kind of be scared or to be nervous, but sometimes we get so much into our routine that we forget about safety. We do. Absolutely. We all do. I mean, you guys are in that business every day at the credit union. Y'all have to be on alert.
We've had to call the police
25
several times.
Not 24/7, 25/8. Y'all got to be alert, right?
Absolutely.
And so you never know. And so I just want to encourage people today to kind of be mindful about everything that's going on around you, and be careful about safety. You know, you hear the news, we live in a fairly safe community. I feel safe here with my children. I feel safe allowing my children to be outside with me supervising them. Now, this one day decided, we have a neighbor across the street, and their little granddaughter comes over. Her name's Lizzie. And one day, Braylon decided she wanted to go play with Lizzie. And you know what she did? She just walked out the door and walked across the street and walked in. And we don't do that, do we, Braylon? We don't do that, do we? So she knew quick. She's kind of smirking, too, because she knew what she did. But we've taught her you don't go across the street unless you ask Mommy and Daddy. And be mindful. Yeah, you can develop trust, but you also have to just be mindful. And like I said,
you can never be too careful.
Keep your
You
head
need
on
to
a
change your
swivel.
routine up sometimes, too.
You know who taught me about changing routine, which was really neat? Kay Boning. And it was the routine of driving into work. She said, you know, there's so many different, she goes, once in a while, just change your routine. And she goes, it'll kind of recharge your brain. And she was right. Because if you go the same way to work every day, you get on autopilot. That's what she called it. And you get on autopilot. How many times have you ever been driving somewhere and all of a sudden you realize, why am I doing this? And it was like a day off, but you found yourself like driving towards the credit union.
I've done that multiple times.
Yep, because your brain gets into autopilot.
I'm like, I should have gone out the back entrance. Dadgummit.
It's happened to me numerous times, especially on a weekend, and I'll be like, why did I just drive all this way? And so when you change your routine, even as something as simple as going to work a different way, all of a sudden your brain starts thinking differently, and you become more aware and more alert because it's new things that you're not used to.
For sure.
So some pretty good advice. Let's head over to our phone line today. We have a winner that has texted in. We've got some cafe texts, and now you're going to have to pick this stuff up next week because the church office is closed this week for VBS. But let's head over right now, and we've got a winner real quick, Toy. And my rule is if you don't answer, we'll text you.
Hello.
Ooh.
Good morning.
Hello, milady.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we speaking with this wonderful morning?
Well,
I didn't mean to call you milady.
No, this is Huntsville's grandma.
It's Huntsville's granny. This is a lady that is all deserving of that word, granny, because she is a sweet grandmother to Huntsville. None other.
Well, I'll tell you, you were talking about that. I blinked, and I have 5 grandsons. They're all grown now.
Do you have great-grandchildren?
Not yet.
Not yet. They're on the way, Miss Gibson. Carolyn Gibson, our winner today. Perfect. Well, congratulations. Carolyn, by the way, came to our Rays of Hope again this year. She's been there 3 years in a row now, and so thank you for your support and all that you do. How about some Cafe Texan? Have you been there in a while?
Not in a while. Thank you. I love it.
Well, we'll have it ready for you, if it's okay, next week for the pickup, just because the church office is closed for VBS this week.
Yeah.
We'll have it for you next week.
Sure.
All right,
That's
Carol.
great. Thank you very much.
Miss Toy's got a quick question for you.
What is it?
What are you thankful for?
Oh.
Toy looked at me like, what's the question?
Miss Gibson, what are you thankful for today?
Well, today I'm thankful for this beautiful sun because of all the rain we had the last few days. I can sit and have my coffee in this bright sun, and I'm so thankful for all my Huntsville friends.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Hey, and you don't have to be a customer because they'll lure you in with the cookies. So come by the credit union on Friday and pick up some cookies, all right?
Compliments of Rob.
Yeah,
May do it.
Compliments of the Hello Huntsville Otis Spunkmeyer oven, all right?
There you go.
All right. Well, hey, have a blessed day, Carolyn. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
bye-bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
Carolyn has been one of our faithful listeners for a very, very long time on this show, so congratulations to her. Well, Toy, that'll wrap it up. What else is going on this week? I know you got meetings, but anything else you wanted to highlight before you head out today? It's been a fun morning. Thank you.
I don't have anything in particular. Just people remember that Thursday is a federal holiday in celebration of Juneteenth, or in honor of Juneteenth, however you want to look at that. And then Friday, it's not too late for the Chamber Clay Classic. We're excited about it. So if you like shooting, whether you know how to or not, come on out and let's see what we can do.
Yeah, and if you don't know how to, let them teach you first. They'll do a good job showing you. So come out and be a part of it. A lot happening. And, hey, go by the credit union, please. Go over there and see them and tell them hello and let them know you heard about it here on this program. They support so much in this community, Walker County Federal Credit Union, being involved, and they do it with excellence. So thank you, Toy. Appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that'll wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow. Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense joins the program, so make sure to hang out with us. Also, Texas Country Reporter was in town a couple of weeks ago, and we have our friend Kat who's going to be on from the Cat Cafe talking about that experience later this week. So it will be really fun. Bob Phillips and his production crew were here, which is really cool. So good exposure for Huntsville. That'll wrap it up here on this Monday. Again, brought to you by Walker County Federal Credit Union. We'll see you back tomorrow as I end every show, reminding you that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. And until next time, good morning and God bless. We'll see you on the other side. See you, Toy.
Take care.